Hello class! So today we're doing functions day 2. Remember, functions are so important in math and we need to know what they are. So yesterday, or on Monday, we talked about relation, and it's basically two set of numbers that have relationships with each other, right? An input is dating the output. It has a relationship together. And it can be any relation. It could be, for example, 5 and 2. It can be -10 and 3, 5 and 4. It could be any kind of relationship between an input and an output. Okay? Now, remember, a function is a special kind of relation. So all functions are relations. It's just a special kind of relation. Okay? Special relation. And so a special kind of relation tells me each input goes to exactly one output. I cannot emphasize that enough, okay? Remember the whole thing about, no two-timing, all right? So everybody, Bob only dates Mary, not Mary and Sue. I don't know why I keep using those names, but those names keep coming up to me, all right? So today we're going to learn how a function is to tell if a function is a function with a graph. We know how to tell from a table, right? If I have two x's that goes to two y's, or two different y's, it's not a function, right? If I have a mapping situation where I have it going to two y's, like the -1 is going to 5 and 6, then it's not a function, okay? Now, I discussed this a little bit in class, but how can you tell from a graph? Well, if I graph it, say for example I graphed a line, I can tell if a graph is a function by what we call the vertical line test. You'll hear this a lot in math when we talk about functions, the vertical line test. Okay, remember what vertical means? It means a line that goes straight up and down. Okay? So basically, a vertical line test says that if I draw vertical lines all throughout my graph, that line right there, my function is this line, or this relation, if I hit it only once, that means I only have one output. So each input has one output. That's what it says, right? And that means it's a function, because each input I put in the x values, I only get one output out. It's a function. Okay, so vertical line test pretty much says draw vertical lines through the graph. If any intersect more than once, it is not a function, because that tells me that an input goes to two outputs if it intersects more than once. And that's not a function. They're two-timing. Bad. Okay, so for example, let me show you a graph where it's not a function, like this graph right here. Okay? Because I'm going to draw vertical lines throughout the graph. And if you can check, this input of, say, this is -5, hits two outputs. It hits it right there, and it's hit right there, not a function. It hits it two outputs. Okay? Vertical line test is very easy. Another graph that's not a function would be something like this, right? Okay? I draw vertical lines throughout the graph. I get too many points. I get this output. I get this output. I get this output. Too many outputs. This. Too many outputs for one input. It's two-timing. It's not a function. Is this the function? Yes, it is. Because if I draw vertical lines throughout it, it's not going to hit more than once. Each of them hits it once. Once. It gets one output for every input. Does that make sense? Okay? Because every input, I just get one output. Every input, say this is my input, I get one output. Every input, I get one output. And that is what a function is. Right. Alright, so these are my triads. I want you to tell me it's a function or not. There's two triads, and my third one is for you to make your own graph, of a function, graph of a relation that is not a function. Not a function. So I want to know if you know what a function is. So make a graph, like how I did number 1 and 2, that's not a function, and show it to me tomorrow. I'm so excited. You can feel my excitement. Okay, 선생님 out. 박 선생님 out. See you tomorrow. 안녕.